Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Wish Infinite. In this video, we will talk about class in Java. A class is a blueprint or template that defines the properties or attribute and behaviors or method of objects. Here are some key features of class. So class, which is a template, contains properties or attributes or fields or instance variable. So don't get confused with these names. These are all same, which are defined as variable inside the class. About variables, we have already seen that how we can create the variables. Now class has behaviors or methods or actions. These are also the same thing. So inside the classes, we would be creating methods. About methods, we are going to look into details into upcoming video. Apart from variables and methods, the third key feature of class is constructor. So constructors are special methods used to initialize objects of the class. Constructors shares the same name as the class and have no return type. So with the help of constructor, we would be initializing object of the class. And what is object? So an object in Java is an instance of a class. Let's understand object with the help of simple example. So let's consider class as a recipe of cake, and the actual cake you bake using that recipe is the object. So each cake is made using the same recipe, but you can make each cake slightly different. It can have different flavors, colors, etc. So here cake is the object, right? So each object is made using the same class, but we can make each object slightly different. So about the constructors and objects, we are going to look into details into upcoming video. And apart from variable, method and constructor, there is one more key feature of class, which is access modifiers. So previously we have already used one access modifier, which is public, but apart from public we have private, protected and default access modifier. About access modifiers also, we are going to look into more detail into future. Now let's see the practical example that how we can create the class. So now let's open IntelliJ IDE, and here let me move all these Java files which we have created inside the archive package so that things are clean here. So right click onto the src new package and we'll give the name as archive, and we'll move all these Java files inside this archive folder. So drag and drop here, and here I am clicking onto the refactor. Here under the refactoring preview also click onto the refactor. Now let's create a class. So previously also we have created class so many times. Let's do the same, and to create the class I will go to the src folder, and inside it I will directly create the class. To create the class, right click onto the src new and then click onto this Java class, and here we need to provide the name. So whatever the name which we give here, with the same name a file will get created with .java extension, and inside that file a class will get created. So here I will create class with the name dog, D is capital O-G. Here you can provide any meaningful name of your choice, and the naming convention which we need to follow is the Pascal casing, which means we need to keep first character of each word capital. So here single word is there and the first character is in capital letter. Let's say if we are creating a class name with the dog house, so D would be capital for the dog and H would be capital for the house, and no need to put any space in between. And once we provide the name, we need to hit enter, and once we hit enter, it will create a file with the same name which we just provided. with the file extension as Java. And inside it, we have one class which is automatically created by our IDE. And here we have this access modifier which is public. So this class can be accessed anywhere into your project. After that, we need to provide class keyword which is used to create the class. And then here we need to provide the name which is dog, which has same name as the file name. After that, we need to put opening and closing of curly braces. And here, as we just saw, that class is a blueprint or template that defines the properties or attributes or fields or instance variable or state also you can here add. So let's create these instance variable. So to create the variable, we need to go inside the class, and here we need to provide data type. About data type and variables also we have already seen into my previous video. If you have not watched that particular video, I would recommend you to watch that video. I will provide link of the video into the description, or you can click onto this I button at top right corner to access that particular video. So now here let's provide data type to create the variable. So the data type which I am giving is the string. You can provide any data type of your choice which is required. After data type, we need to provide the variable name. Here I will create one variable name and then semicolon. For now, I am not initializing this variable by providing a value to it. I am just declaring the variable of type string, and here I will declare one more variable inside this class of data type string space, and then the variable name is breed. So this dog class has two properties or variables which are name and breed of type string. Apart from the instance variables, class have behaviors or methods. So let's see how we can create the method. For now, I will create very basic method. About the method, we are going to look into more detail into my upcoming video. So to create the method, we need to provide return type of method. For now, we are not going to return anything from the method, and for that we will provide void as the return type, and then we need to provide the method name. Here I will add the method, or you can also call it behavior for this dog class as bark. So dog can bark. This is dog's behavior, right? So that's why we are calling this method as behavior of dog. And then we need to provide opening and closing parenthesis, and after that we need to provide opening and closing of curly braces, and inside it the method body would be there. So here we can put any code for this particular behavior. For now, we will just put print statement here, and at some places people may also call method as function, so don't get confused. Usually you will hear method more, but just to avoid any confusion, I'm telling this to you, so don't get confused. If someone is talking about the function in Java, they are just talking about the method only. Let me just add this inside the document so that it would be easy for you to understand, right? These are all same name and these are all same name. And now here let's put the print statement. So as out, which will give us system.out.println, and inside it we will just print a statement. So double quotes, here I will print dog, then dog's name is barking. So dog as the string I am providing, then I will concatenate it with a variable which is name. So to concatenate a string with the variable, we need to provide plus after this double quotes, and then we need to provide the variable which is name, and after that also if you are going to put any string, so again you will have to concatenate. So for that variable then plus, and then again double quotes I am putting as I want to concatenate this variable with this string, and here I will put is barking, and here I will put an extra space, so dog space, then the name would be appearing. How this value of name is going to come, I will tell you right now. So now our basic class is ready, which is having instance variable and method, or multiple methods can be there. So like this method, we can create one more method inside the class here. For now, I will stick to the one method only. And apart from that, we saw that class will have constructors and the access modifier. Usually, if we are not providing any constructor to the class, it will have a default constructor. And as I told you, constructors are nothing but the methods with the same name as the class name. Let me just quickly give you one example. So here the class name is dog, and then we need to put parenthesis and then opening and closing of curly braces. So this is one constructor. And as I told about constructors also, we are going to look into more detail into my upcoming video. For now, I will remove this constructor as class will have this constructor by default, as we are not providing any constructor. This constructor we would be using to create the object of the class. And apart from the variables, methods and constructors, we can also have the access modifier like public, private, protected and default. For now, if we are not providing any access modifier with these variables and methods, so it will take default as the access modifier. But specifically, if we want to provide the access modifier, so before the data type, we can provide access modifier like this. It can be public, private, protected, right? For now, just to keep things simple, I will keep the default access modifier where I am not providing any access modifier. Later about the access modifier, we will see into more detail. So for now, just to keep the thing simple, I have created one class, and inside it, I have created two variables and one method which are having the default access modifier and default constructor. Now let's create object of this class, and with the help of that object, we would be accessing the state and behavior of the class, which means the variables and methods of the class. And as previously we discussed that if we want to execute any Java program, we will require a main method. So one thing is that we can directly create a main method inside the same class that we have previously done. But here, just to show you one more way, I will create this main method inside the separate class, right? Inside the main method, the same code is going to come. But with the separate class, you will have the better understanding of the classes. So let me create one more class inside the src folder only. For now, I'm not using any package, so that's why there is no package statement at the top of the class. So package and then the package name would be appearing if you will create class inside any package. For now, we will directly use the src. So right click, new Java class, and here I will give class name as dog main. So capital D and then OG is the small, and for the main also M is capital and then AIN is the small. So this is Pascal casing. And now hit enter. Again, one more class got created. So public class and then dog name is the name which we have given, and the same name is there for this Java file. Now I will create one main method inside this class. So here we created simple bark method, and inside this main class I will put a main method. So as you know, we can use the shortcut either PSVM, which is for the public static void main, or we can use this main and hit enter to create one method with the same syntax, which is public static void main, and then the parameter as array of string with the name args. And then between opening and closing curly braces, we will create the object of this dog class so that we would be able to access these variables and methods. So to create one object, we need to provide the class name. So class name is dog, and then we need to provide the object name. So here I will give the object name as small dog and then 1. So this is first object we are creating. You can give any name of the object of your choice. The name should be using the camel casing. And after equals to, we need to use this new keyword, and then we need to provide the constructor name. So as we saw, that constructor name would be having the same name as the class name. So capital DOG and then parenthesis. So this is our constructor, and then semicolon. Once we will talk about constructor, we would also talk about objects in more detail. For now, we have created one simple object, and now with this object, we can access the variables and methods. So let me type this dog1, which is our object name, dot, and as soon as I put the dot with the help of this IDE, we are able to see these variables and the methods which are there inside the dog class. So let's access this name variable. So dog1 dot name, and here we can assign the value to the name. So dog1 dot name equals to Buddy is the name I will give for the dog, and then semicolon. And like this, we can also provide name of the breed. So dog1 dot breed, which is our second variable, equals to, and here I will give the name as golden retriever, and then semicolon. Now we have assigned value for the name and breed variable. Now let's call the method, and to call the method again, we will use the same object dog1 dot, the method name is bark. So bark, and then opening and closing parenthesis and semicolon. Now if I will execute this particular class which is having the main method, it will first create the object, then will assign value to the variables, and then we'll call this method which will print this dog, and the name we have given as the Buddy is barking. Here also I will put one space, so it will show dog Buddy is barking. Here I will also add the breed into this print statement. So after is barking space double quotes and then plus breed. So it will show dog Buddy is barking after space. Again it will show the breed which is golden retriever. Now let's execute this Java program which is having the main method. So either we can right click and then click onto this run dog main dot main method, or we can also click onto this run button where we will get run dog main dot main method, or here also we are going to get the same thing. So let's click here and see it printed dog Buddy is barking, and after space it is showing golden retriever. So how it worked? We created a class with the name dog which describes what a dog is, its properties, right? Its name and breed, and what it can do. So dog can bark. And then we created one object dog1 using the dog class, and then we assigned value to the object's property, name and breed, and after that we called the method bark to see the object's behavior. So this dog1 is the object of this dog class, which means this dog1 is instance of this dog class. And as I told, we can put this main method inside this dog class also. Let me quickly show that to you. So inside this dog class, I will put this main method. So anywhere inside the class and outside these methods, we are going to put our main method like this. And here inside the main method, there is no syntax change, right? only thing is that previously we were creating this main method outside our doc class, and here we have created it inside our doc class. If we will right click, again we will see the class name dot main method to run. For now, commenting it out for your future reference. So you will have to create the main method because that is the entry point for our Java program, right? So as soon as we run our script, the flow is going to come onto this main method, and inside it only whatever the code which is there is going to get executed, right? If I will not call this method and will execute this dog main, it will not show anything onto the console. Why? Because we have not called this particular method. So putting it back and commenting it out. And here let's discuss some of the basic interview questions. So one interview question can be there that what is a class in Java? So you can provide this particular definition that class is a template or the blueprint that defines properties and behaviors. There can be one more question related to the components of the class, that what are the different components of a class in Java. So you can mention these points. And one more question, that how to declare a class. So you can mention the syntax, which is public class, and then the class name, and then opening and closing of curly braces. And this we are going to put inside the Java file. And how we can access the state and behavior of a class. So you can mention that we will create an object of a class, and using that object we can access the variable or the state and behavior or the method of a class. And that's it for this particular video. Let me give you the quick recap. So here we saw that class is a blueprint or template that have properties or attributes or fields or instance variable or state, and it has behaviors, methods, actions or functions. All these names you can consider as synonyms. Apart from that, we saw that class have constructors and the access modifiers, which are key features. And to create the class, we can create a file with the name .java, and the same name we would be using to create the class. For that, we need to provide public, which is access modifier, then class keyword, and then the class name. And then we are going to put opening and closing of curly braces, and inside the class body we are going to create variables as well as the method, and we can access these variables and method by creating object of the class like this, and by using this object we can access the variables and methods of the class. And like this we can create multiple objects of a class which will get considered as separate instance of the class, and for them also we can assign the value to its variable, and then we can call its method. And that's it from my end. You can click onto this first card to go to the next video. You can click onto the second card to access the whole Java tutorials playlist. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions or doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.